In this story, Joshua is looking ahead. He's asking the tribes to place something tangible as a memorial, as a reminder and a focus of something special that happened there. The Israelites had already been through a lot together. Joshua was the first Israelite leader after Moses. Joshua had already led the tribes through the Jordan and later would lead them through the Battle of Jericho. These were some memorable times. It was important for the tribes to leave something to remind future generations of the courage and strength that God gave them. There are many different kinds of memorials. A memorial can be an action, walking in memory of someone, taking communion in remembrance. It can also be a gift, a memorial donation. And it can also be a place for people to return to for generations to come, to remember. What does a memorial mean to you? Have there been memorial structures that have impacted you? The Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington? The Holocaust Memorial in Boston? A hymnal dedicated to someone? Maybe a gravestone? The purpose of the Memorial of Rocks at the Jordan River was for the people of Israel to teach their children and their children's children about what the Lord had done in their lives. That way, the work of God would not be forgotten. Have you ever thought of our church as a memorial? I like to think that people will return to St. John's for generations to come, to worship and serve and join in our long story as Christians. When Ryan and I joined St. John's, the Great Hall and the sanctuary were already built. The youth house was already the youth house. And the people who were here when the church decided to build and acquire these structures did so to provide a place for ministry and for fellowship, for their generation, but also for generations to come. A place for future generations to use, to help them remember that they are part of a shared story. A new place for new people. As a new mother, I'm grateful that my son will have St. John's, a place to learn about what God and a church community means in his family's life. Ask someone who was here when the Great Hall was being built. They'll tell you stories about the construction and the porta potties. It wasn't easy to make St. John's the building that it is today. And I'm sure the stones that Joshua asked the Israelite leaders to lift, I'm sure that wasn't easy either. Making the memorial is part of the story. The rooms in our building are our rocks and our living memorial. When you look at this building, remember how this building is grace. For the IHN families that stay here, for the Sunday school classes that meet here, for marriages to begin, for lives to be remembered, for you to remember your baptism, for the youth group to meet, for children's programs, for the powerful connections that happen through sacraments and worship, and for my son to learn what God's community means to his parents. Every time something happens here, our campus again becomes a memorial about the lives that have been touched by the mission and ministry of St. John's United Methodist Church. Once a cornfield, this building on Allendale is a memorial. The founding members and the members who continue to build on this memorial hope that this will be a place where families will experience grace and remember their God who provided it.